Hey guys, so I hope you can hear me. I'm outside. This ought to be quiet, and it's different than the normal vlog. So as soon as I decided to record, my neighbors came out again. So guys, as promised, these are the frequently asked surrogate questions. Anyways, I tried to make sure that there was no doubles, and also I sort of combined them into sections like financial questions, medical questions, that kind of thing. So I hope it's okay. So I have the first section I'm going to do is general questions. They're just ones I didn't really know where else it would have went. So the first question is, how did you arrive at the idea of being a surrogate, and was it your idea? I can't really say that there was a set thing that made me decide to be a surrogate. Like, Cody was about 2 months old, and I just one day was like, I need to look into surrogacy. It was weird because I didn't know any other surrogates. I wasn't watching surrogates on YouTube at that point or anything. I just decided it was something I needed to look into. I felt pretty strongly about it because we had so many family and friends that had fertility problems, and here I was, and I was able to have a fairly easy pregnancy and conception. So the second question was, did you find people who needed a surrogate, or did friends or family approach you and ask? Originally I was going to be I was going to go independently without an agency, so I had tried to find someone that needed a surrogate. That didn't work out. So I ended up going with an agency, and they matched us. So, neither, really. Would you ever care for someone you knew before, like a family or friend? After seeing all, like, if you would have asked me this before I started the process, I would have said definitely, for sure, you know, like any of my friends or family that wanted to. Now that I'm almost done, and that I think very select few people. What are you eating? Yeah, I'm reading it. I think very select few people what I carry for, because I think it's I know family and friends that I could carry for, but also ones that I think might drive me a little insane if I did, just because I think they would be more the type to kind of watch, sort of like watch over me, you know, and I don't think I'd respond well to that. So there are a few people, well, one person for sure that I've told that I would carry for them. So, let's see. Next question. Why did you want to be a surrogate? So I kind of already answered this one, I guess. Family and friends had issues. I was really lucky, so I felt like it was something that I could do to help somebody. Did you get... Okay, this one is one that I was asked like early on, like before I even transferred. And then another surrogate told me that she'd been asked it as well, and so I decided to go ahead and put it in here. Do you get to keep one of the babies? So when I told people that there was a possibility of having multiples, they asked if like I got one. You know, like if the parents only wanted one and I ended up with two, would I get to keep one? And no. I don't think I'd want one of them. You know, if the parents came to me today and was like, yeah, you know, we don't want the girl, or we don't want the boy, or whatever, I'm not connected to them at all right now. Like, it would be really hard for me, I think, to take one home. Plus, I don't want another baby right now, so. will you do this again? If so, is there anything you would do differently? I will probably do it once more. If you would have asked me maybe like a month or two ago, I would probably have told you I would do it like 2 or 3 times more, because I am really excited about the whole thing. I think it's such a great thing, but after like all the problems that I've had these last couple weeks, we're out. Yeah, so I will do it again for sure one more time. Anything differently? I don't know if I would want to put 2 in. If it's split, it's something that I would deal with, but I don't know if I'd want to purposely carry twins again. I had a really good first 30 weeks of twin pregnancy. Like, I didn't have any problems, and I should be grateful for that, because I know people that have been on bed rest with twins at like 20 weeks, but like the last few weeks and the things that did happen were so like extreme. I just feel like it'd be easier to carry one. So that's something I would do differently. And maybe I wouldn't work with an agency. I don't know if I'd want to go fully independent, but there's sort of like a middle line. You can go through like an attorney sort of thing. So I don't know. Do you know the IPs? So IPs is intended parents. This is always like a really weird question when people ask me this, because I do know them now, obviously. I didn't know them. It wasn't, a family friend or anything, but I do know them now, and we've met in person twice, and we talk all the time on the phone and through text. So how does it work after delivery? Do they just take the babies and you go your separate ways? Pretty much. As soon as I deliver, the babies are 100% theirs. I don't have any say over it. I can be released the next day, and the babies could be there for weeks, or I could be there for weeks and the babies could be released the next day. That's just it. So, will you deliver here or where the IEPs live? I will deliver here. And will the parents be at the delivery? So they are wanting to. We're planning for them to be there. They do live, it's like a 4 to 5 hour flight from me, and then another 3-hour drive on top of that. So, if I went into labor tomorrow or something and they couldn't stop it, it'd be really tricky to get them here in time. But they are kind of going to come down probably around 36 weeks, and so we hope that I'll make it that long and they'll be able to be there. Is the parent's sperm and egg used? So in my case, it was father's sperm, but they used egg donor eggs. So the next question, or the next batch of questions, is medical. What happens if there's a health issue with you or the babies? So, while I'm pregnant, there's an issue with the babies. The top priority is them, as far as, if they need to be taken early, if they would have needed to be taken early, or if they, that kind of stuff. Afterwards, it's, like what the parents deal with all that. With me, health issue, it sort of depends. Like when I went in at 32 weeks with like the gallbladder and the heart issue, the babies were fine, so it was focused on me, so it was my choices, when I got released and all that. If something drastic were to happen to me, if I was in a car crash and I was on life support or something, the parents would choose when to take me off life. No, I shouldn't say when, but the parents would have the choice to keep me on life support until the babies were able to be born. At this point, they wouldn't really have to do that, but at like 20 weeks or something, 24 weeks, 25 weeks. They could have kept me on life support and done that. They can't take me off of it. That's still my family's right. But they could have kept me on at their expense to save the babies. So, I hope that answers that one. Do the parents get to choose your obstetrician? Not in my case. They asked me if I had one. I said yeah, I really liked him. He delivered my son, and I wanted him to deliver these ones for me if possible. Originally they had wanted me to move out to the city because better hospitals and everything there, but when we did have a really calm pregnancy, so they decided to go ahead and let me stay there, and they were fine with me picking my obstetrician. And if I would have moved out to the city, I could have picked that as well. They wouldn't have chosen someone for me. Would you or can you carry for an HIV positive couple? So, I can, technically. I don't know the laws on it as far as where I live. I think it's legal. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but I don't know for sure. Would I? It's a really hard question. I honestly haven't given it a ton of thought. They didn't ask me if I would. Apparently my agency usually asks if you'd be willing to carry for like an HIV couple, and I don't remember being asked that. So I never really thought about it, and just recently it's become more of like a topic between different surrogate groups I'm at and stuff, and I don't know, I still haven't really put a ton of thought into it. So yeah, I don't know. Did you use your eggs? No, egg donor. Is it your bio baby you're giving away? No, egg donor. What if something happens that means you can't have any more kids or carry pregnancies? So this was probably the most asked question I got from close friends and then family members when I told them what I was going to do. They were worried, since I only had one kid at that point, well, still, I only have one kid. You know, like, what happens if you can't carry any more babies, Michelle, blah, blah, blah. So, my husband and I, before we even had our son, had decided that we would want to adopt at least one baby. Probably our last, you know, just because we both really like the idea of adoption. And, so for me, I did get to experience having my own child. So if something really went crazy wrong, it wasn't a big, I shouldn't say it wasn't a big deal, but it wasn't something I was really concerned about because I would just adopt more than one, you know. It would be a little sad, I guess, to have it just sort of end, but I figured like anything that really would happen would probably happen anyways on my next pregnancy, or would have the chance of happening. I'm a twin, so there's a chance that I could have that I could conceive twins naturally, so having twins wasn't something that I was scared of. And I already had my son, and I was okay with that, so I figured if I had another single baby as a surrogate and something happened, I felt like it probably would have happened anyways. So it just wasn't, I don't know, it just doesn't bother me. Did you have to have sex with the father? No. We did IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. The father was actually on the other side of the continent, and I went in, and the only people in the room were me and my doctor and a nurse, so yeah. Why would you do this to your body? So this sort of, I guess, falls under the, you know, what happens question. I didn't feel like it was anything extreme. I've been pregnant before. I was able to carry without having any big problems. It's been tougher these last couple weeks, but I still don't feel like I've really altered my body really in any way. You know, I have more stretch marks now, but I don't not like I'll never be the same as far as, I don't know. I don't really feel like it's doing anything harmful. When do you hand, oh, sorry. How did you become pregnant? IVF. They had frozen embryos. They were transferred via a catheter up my cervix into my uterus, and ta-da. When do you hand over the baby? Is it literally as soon as it's born? Pretty much. If everything's okay with them, the parents will cut the cords, and they'll probably get like a little hug, squeeze, you know, and then they'll be taken away, obviously, to get cleaned up or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the baby, I don't think, unless something's weird, but baby won't be laid on my chest, you know, nothing like that. It'll go to them. Will you breastfeed the baby? No. Some surrogates do. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think I could. I felt like that was something that helps me bond with my son, and yeah, I don't see the need to breastfeed the baby. I will pump while we're at the hospital, so it can get all the colostrum. They can get all the colostrum. So next question is family. Are you finished making your family? No. We don't have like a set number yet. Like, we kind of go between maybe 2 or 3. Probably not more than 3. So, yeah, we still have at least one more baby that we want. Is your husband okay with you doing this? Yes. When we first talked about it, I think he was a little weirded out because we only knew about traditional surrogacy, and that's where you give your egg, and he wasn't sure if he could be okay with that, which is fine because I wasn't really either, so, but he's fine with this. Does your husband know what you're doing? Yeah. That'd be really weird if he didn't. I don't know. I don't know how I could keep that from him. What does your son think? I think Cody's really too young to realize it. I think he realizes something's weird with mom because I'm getting fat and, you know, that kind of stuff. He definitely realizes that I have a belly now. He pokes his belly out like me, and he'll like lift up his shirt and go, you know. But he doesn't understand the whole surrogacy. I don't think he'll even understand, I mean, he doesn't know that there should be a baby coming. So it's not like when I come home from the hospital without a baby, he's going to be like, you know. So I think for us it was a really good time to do it, his age. Money. This is the next topic. Are you allowed to get paid? Yes. Certain states do not allow surrogates to get paid. Certain countries don't allow surrogates to get paid. My state is not one of those. What do you get paid? I'm not really going to talk about like my personal exact finances, but I'm with an agency. Agencies range anywhere from like 18 to 27-ish thousand for carrying a single baby, and then usually they have an extra allotment for carrying a multiple, like, you know, for each extra baby you carry. Do the parents pay all your food expenses / maternity clothes, etc.? The agency that I'm with now, they do cover, or they give you like allotments for maternity clothes, and they give you an allotment per month for just extra stuff that you need to buy that you cannot. Are you doing this for the money? So if you've watched me very long, you know that when I first looked into surrogacy, I thought it was something you did for free. And I don't know. For a friend or family member, I might be able to do it for free. I would do it for free. But pregnancy is hard. Delivery. So, I don't know. I didn't go into it doing it for the money. I am not ungrateful that I am getting paid. More specifically, like, for the little stuff you don't really think about, like maternity clothes and, you know, just stuff like that I bought with my son, not thinking, because, you know, I was already pregnant or whatever, but, yeah. Do you get paid double for twins? No. Actually, my doctor asked me that as well. It was pretty funny. He was like, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm just curious if you get paid double for twins. No. Like I said, agencies at least usually do pay an extra allotment for it, but it's not double, not near double. So, yeah. Next category is emotions. How will you avoid becoming attached to the babies? I'm still not attached. I think I've done fairly well this far. Going into it, I knew they were not mine, so I just didn't form that connection. I'd go to the doctor's appointments and I'd see the ultrasounds, and they're cute, and I think it's funny, you know, seeing like the little girl kicking her brother in the head, you know, but I don't get like the, oh look, my baby's feeling, you know, like I did when I saw my son. So I don't know, I just don't feel attached. I'm just able to do that. Will you keep in touch with the babies and the family or cut ties after the birth? So we talked about this a little bit in the match meeting, and it's something I would like every once in a while to sort of get like an update. You're like, oh, the twins turned 1 today, or, you know, whatever. But I don't need, you know, daily updates or pictures or anything like that. If they send me pictures, I'm not gonna not like them, but it's not something that I need, I don't think. It'll be hardest to not talk to the parents, I think, because I talk to the mom a lot. Text and phone calls, and so obviously they won't need to check in to see how I'm feeling that week because I'm not pregnant, you know, so I won't have that. How could you put yourself through this for someone you barely know? Again, I don't know. I don't feel like it's really that much to put myself through, really. I knew what I was getting into. I love the parents. They're awesome. They're going to be great parents. I think they very much deserve a baby. Their story touches me. It's not hard for me to do it for someone that I barely know. How can you just give away the babies like that? Something that I think is really important to remember is, as a surrogate, especially a gestational one, which is what I am, we're not giving away babies. They're not ours. You know, Glenn and I didn't conceive the baby and then we went, oops, it's not adoption. So it's, you know, we're giving them back, and I think about that a lot. Like, I'm giving them back their babies. I've been babysitting them for an extremely long time, and I'm getting to the point where I'm a little over it now. I want to be able to run after my son and do stuff like that. And so yeah, I'm not giving them away. Will you miss them? Again, I won't miss the babies. I will miss the parents. Do you think you'll be okay or upset after delivery? I think I'll be fine, really. I don't, hormonal wise, I mean, with my son I got a little bluesy like about a week after, that might happen again because of the drop of hormones and all that, but I don't think I'm going to be depressed or anything. I mean, I haven't done this before, so I can't say for sure, but I just really don't feel like I will be. I will go home and recover and not have to wake up every couple hours to feed a baby, and yeah, will you see or hold the babies? So I'm sure I'll see them. Hi. I have permission from the parents to hold them. I'll be given like an armband at the hospital so I can go into the nursery if I want to, you know, see them or hold them. I don't know if I will or not. Part of me thinks I don't really want to hold them. Part of me does. I'm just going to sort of play it by ear and how I feel. So the next category is legal. What legal rights do you have, if any, over the babies? None. So we actually just got the papers in that say the babies are theirs and all of that, so I couldn't, even if I wanted to, suddenly be like, no, they're mine. So what happens if the parents divorce or die while you are pregnant? This is actually something that I hadn't ever thought about until I got the copy of like my contract and started talking to the lawyers and all of that, and they had to name 2 people for both medical emergencies and in cases like that, well, not the divorce, but if they were to die, who would get the babies, or who would make decisions if they were not able to. With divorce, I'm not sure exactly how that would work. It doesn't really affect me. The parents would still be their parents, and then they would fight it out in court, you know, for custody or whatever. So what if they decide for some reason, for some unknown reason, they no longer want the child? One of the first things our agency tells you is that surrogates always ask, like, oh, what happens if the parents don't want the baby? And parents always ask, oh, what happens if the surrogate wants to keep the baby? So it sort of cancels each other out. If for some reason they decided they didn't want the children, couldn't take them, something like that, the babies would be put up for adoption. I wouldn't be stuck with them or whatever, anything like that. Has a surrogate ever changed her mind after birth that you have heard of? What happens? Kind of just answered that. I've never heard of a surrogate that was like, no, I want to keep them. As a gestational one, I don't really have any rights to do so. I mean, they're not mine. And I've already signed all the contracts saying that they're not mine and everything. I'm not sure how it works with traditional surrogacy. So, yeah. So, anyways, that is it. So, I hope that answers some of your questions. If you have any more, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer those. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.